You are standing in your backyard with a kettle. The anthill has been growing for weeks. A small volcano of loose dirt near the patio. Ants moving across it in a steady, endless stream. Someone told you the solution once. Your father, a neighbor, a forum you half remember scrolling through. Boiling water. Pour it straight down the center. Kill the colony in one afternoon and never think about it again. You bring the kettle outside. You pour. Steam rises. The surface ants scatter and die instantly. The hill collapses in on itself, a small dark crater where the mound used to be. It looks like it worked. It looks final. Stop.
Stop it.
Because what you just did, the thing you have been told for years is the responsible way to deal with an ant colony in your yard, almost certainly did not work. Not because the water was not hot enough, not because you did not pour enough of it, but because the colony you were trying to kill was never contained in the part of the hill you could see. And what is still alive beneath your feet right now, and what that colony has actually been doing in your yard this entire time, is something almost nobody stops to consider before reaching for the kettle. Let's start with what you are actually looking at. The mound in your yard is not the colony, it is the chimney. Ant colonies build their visible mounds as ventilation and temperature regulation structures, a kind of architectural exhaust system sitting on top of a much larger network of tunnels and chambers extending downward and outward beneath the soil. Depending on the species and the age of the colony, that underground structure can extend 3 to 6 feet deep and spread laterally for many feet in every direction, often connecting to satellite mounds you have never noticed because they do not look like anything, just slightly disturbed patches of soil elsewhere in your yard, invisible unless you know to look for them. A mature colony can contain tens of thousands of worker ants, and depending on species, one or several queens buried deep in a protected chamber at the very core of the structure. That queen is the entire reason the colony exists. She is the only ant in the colony capable of reproduction. Every worker ant on the surface, every single one you see streaming across your patio, is functionally replaceable. The queen is not. Now, let's talk about what actually happens when you pour boiling water on the mound. The water enters through the surface chimney and follows the path of least resistance downward through the tunnels closest to the entrance. It kills everything in its immediate path. The workers near the surface, the eggs and larvae in the uppermost chambers, sometimes a significant portion of the visible structure. This is why it looks like it worked. The mound collapses. The surface activity stops. For a few days, sometimes longer, the yard looks clear. But heat dissipates as it travels through soil, and soil is an excellent insulator. By the time the water has traveled even a foot or two below the surface, it has cooled substantially, often to a temperature the deeper chambers can survive. The queen, protected in a chamber that may be 4 or 5 feet down, in a location the water rarely reaches directly, in most cases is never touched at all. Within days to weeks, the colony rebuilds, sometimes in the exact same location, sometimes a few feet away, in one of the satellite chambers you never knew existed. The visible destruction convinced you the problem was solved. Underground, the actual colony, the queen, the deep chambers, the majority of the workforce, continued exactly as before. This is not a failure of effort. It is a mismatch between what the method can reach and where the colony actually lives. But here is the part that matters most. The ant colony you have been trying to eliminate has been doing something in your yard this entire time that most people never learn to notice. Ants are among the most significant soil engineers in any ecosystem they inhabit. As colonies excavate their tunnel networks, they move enormous volumes of soil from deep layers to the surface, mixing organic material downward and mineral material upward in a continuous process that researchers have compared directly to earthworm activity. In many soil types, ants move more material annually than earthworms do. That excavation creates channels that allow water and oxygen to penetrate far deeper into compacted soil than they otherwise could, directly improving drainage and root access for everything growing nearby, including your lawn and garden beds. Ants are also active predators. Many common yard species prey heavily on the eggs and larvae of insects that genuinely damage gardens. Fly larvae, small caterpillars, the early stages of several plant-damaging beetles. A large established ant colony functions as a continuously operating predator population, working the same soil your plants are rooted in, removing pest insects before they mature into the stage that actually destroys leaves and stems. The mound that has been irritating you on your patio for weeks has, underground and entirely out of view, been aerating your soil and hunting the insects you actually dislike. So what should you actually do? If the colony is in an area where it is not causing structural damage, away from foundations, driveways, and load-bearing pathways, the most effective response, oddly, is often no response at all. Established colonies in open yard space rarely cause meaningful problems and are actively improving the soil around them. If the colony has established itself somewhere genuinely problematic, beneath a foundation, inside a retaining wall, undermining a walkway, professional treatment using bait-based methods is significantly more effective than boiling water. Worker ants carry bait back into the deepest chambers of the colony themselves, delivering it directly to the queen in a way that no amount of poured liquid, hot or cold, can replicate. This is not a matter of opinion. It is simply how ant colony structure works. The workers do the delivery you cannot do yourself. What you should never do is assume that surface destruction means the colony is gone. If the mound reappears within a few weeks in the same spot or nearby, that is not a sign the treatment partially worked. It is confirmation that the part of the colony that mattered was never reached. There is something quietly humbling about a structure you can stand directly on top of without ever seeing more than a fraction of what it actually is. A colony extending feet beneath your yard, engineered with a precision no human landscaping crew could replicate, moving soil and hunting pests in a rhythm that has continued undisturbed for longer than most of the plants growing above it. The mound was never the colony. It was only ever the part the colony was willing to show you. The next time you see an anthill forming in your yard, you are not looking at an invasion. You are looking at the visible edge of something built with an architecture far more sophisticated than the kettle in your hand.